Hi class, today is day 2 of our geometry unit. Yesterday you learned how to use a protractor and you worked on finding the area of a triangle. Today we're going to start with our notes, naming and classifying angles and triangles. It's very important that you read these notes and you can write on them to take any kinds of questions or notes that you have. As you look through here, some of it will be very easy for you, but some of it's brand new. So we're going to take step by step with the words that might be new to you in this packet. So have this packet out as we go through this, and I'll go over the main ideas that you need for today's work. The first idea we're working on today is classifying angles. And we can classify angles by the measurements that we get with the protractor. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. So if you look right here, this one is less than 90 degrees, and so it's called acute angle. Some of you might remember when we did that little Congo line around the room saying, acute little angle, acute. The next angle that's important to know about is a right angle. And a right angle has 90 degrees as a measurement. And that is straight in one direction and the other. Now this particular picture, to be honest, to me, it doesn't look like that arrow going up is straight. But the paper says that it's 90 degrees, so it is. That's called a right angle. The next one that we talk about is an obtuse angle. It's greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. The next one that we talk about is called a straight angle, and most of you know this as a straight line, but it's also called a straight angle. And the last one that you don't hear very much is called a reflex angle, which is even larger than a straight angle. It goes all the way around the vertex in the other direction. Whoops, excuse me. And that's a reflex angle. Okay, so it's all about measurement. Another important term today is the idea of supplementary angles. Supplementary angles are two or more angles that add up to a straight line. Two angles. So we have 110 degrees right here, and then this angle is 70 degrees. So we could also think of this, we know, is obtuse from our work on the slide previously, and this is acute. The only way that these angles are supplementary is if they add up to exactly 180 degrees. So if we take 110 degrees plus 70 degrees, you'll see that we do indeed get 180 degrees. So these are supplemental angles. They add to 180 degrees. The next term that we need to know is complementary angles. And complementary angles are angles that add up to 90 degrees. So we have 60 degrees plus 30 degrees. So 60 degrees plus 30 degrees would equal 90 degrees. And so we know that those two angles are complementary angles. Now also on the slide, I want to teach you about how to talk about angles. Angles are named by their point, and then their vertice, and then a point. The only really important part is that the vertice has to be in the center. So in this case, we would name this angle, use the angle sign, L, M, N. Oops. Then this angle would be called angle N, M, O. So just so you know, when you have to write angle names down, it takes 3 letters, and the middle letter is the one that's found at the vertice. The next term we're going to work on is the term vertical angle. And vertical angles are across from each other. So 6 and 8 are considered vertical angles to each other, and 9 and 7 are considered vertical angles to each other. Now the important thing about vertical angles is that they are congruent to each other. And Hopefully you remember that the word congruent means that they have equal measurements. Oops. Equal. Let's make that a Q there. Equal. Okay. And back to the blue. There we go. Equal measurements. So congruent means they have equal measure. So for instance, if I know that angle 9 here is 44 degrees, then I also know that angle 7 has to be 44 degrees. Since I know those two, I can also figure out 6 and 8, because 9 and 6 have to add up to 180 degrees. So that means that this angle 6 has to be 136 degrees. And since it's a vertical angle with 8, I know this one's 136 degrees. So knowing just one angle, you can often figure out the measurement of the rest without actually using your protractor. So the important word here in this slide is vertical. Vertical angles are angles 6 and 8, or also in this example, angle 9 is vertical with angle 7. The last vocabulary word that we're going to talk about for today's work is the word adjacent. Adjacent. And some of you may be familiar with this word just in the English language. It often means next door to, adjacent to. And that's exactly the meaning in angles as well. This first angle, angle JGL, is adjacent to angle LGH. They share this ray, and anytime two angles share a side, they're called adjacent angles. Adjacent. So in this case, angle JGL is adjacent to angle LGH. That means that they share their center ray.